So, Mr. Kratt has once again offered a rejoinder. His rebuttal is that if the doctor is walking by and says something that is protected by HIPAA, that the doctor's already violated HIPAA and the camera just caught the doctor violating HIPAA. Adam obviously chose to ignore the very sensitive microphone portion of the statement, which is what I most often encounter in these particular videos. People trying to take things out of context. So you're saying that? So you believe that? That's the bullshit I deal with on a daily basis. So no, if you take it outside of that context, the very sensitive microphone, you see, as humans, we can judge, relatively speaking, when we are in a position to be overheard by a person, whereas we are not in as good of a position to determine when we are capable of being overheard by technology. Technology, microphones, can be much more sensitive than a human ear. We know this. This is reality. Cameras can zoom well past what a human eye can zoom. This is reality. It is incumbent on the people who are designed or who are responsible for putting the systems in place. California roads, you gotta love them. The people who put the systems in place to protect the data have to make decisions. Now, they can't keep everybody out of a hospital, Adam. That's retarded. So there are going to be vulnerabilities, just period. But they can minimize those vulnerabilities by putting privacy screens on their computers. That minimizes the vulnerability. Does that mean that nobody will ever see that protected data? That nobody can't sneak around the desk and see that screen ever under any circumstances? No, but as long as the hospital or insurance provider or whatever is taking reasonable steps to deal with it, they minimize their risk and they minimize the likelihood that they're going to be fined for a violation. So it's a risk management issue, Mr. Kratt, and I'm going to step back and remind you that you don't have a fucking right to film in there. You don't have the right. So all of your arguments are pretty much gone at that point. You do not have a right to film in a hospital. You don't. You absolutely do not. So with that said, they don't wish to give you the privilege of filming in their hospital. And they don't have to take unreasonable security risks with their patients' data to give you that privilege. And you're acting like a petulant, spoiled child thinking that you have that right when you do not. Clearly you do not. There is nothing evidencing your right to record in a VA. There's nothing evidencing your right to record in a Social Security office. You're being ridiculous. I'm sorry, I get a little heated. I don't understand what you think you're doing. You're not protecting people's rights. You're actually, it seems you're actively seeking to put at risk people's private information. And that doesn't do anybody any good. It doesn't paint auditors in a good light. Since you don't have that right, you're obviously not protecting the First Amendment, because the First Amendment wasn't designed to allow you to get the sensitive details of someone's health when that information is supposed to be between them and their doctor. You don't have a right to eavesdrop. There are laws against eavesdropping in just about every state. every state that I'm aware of, you don't have that right. And that the doctors are referring to HIPAA, yes, it's the HIPAA violation would be the doctors, it would be the hospitals, it would be the health insurance company, it would be the Social Security agency's violation. But because it would be their violation, they have the right, they have the duty, they have the obligation to protect that information from you, from people who don't understand what you're doing and what you're risking. Because all you can think of is, I have a camera and I'm going to use it, and fuck you if you want to stop me. You're a terrible person, Mr. Kratt, and it's starting to come out. You can't understand anything beyond what your desires are. You need to relax, dude. You need to relax. You need to understand that there are some reasons for some of these regulations, and that they're designed to protect people in general. They're designed to protect you, Mr. Kratt. They're designed to protect your private information. They're designed to protect your Social Security number. They're designed to protect your financial information. So that said, I hope I'm pretty much done with this topic. It's just frustrating that people would be so ignorant and so bullheaded and naive and objectionable that they would persist in this despite all of the evidence and arguments and the weight of the law and the weight of the Supreme Court hearings and everything else that just weighs inexorably on the other side, that it is not a right, it is not a privilege that they have to extend to you, and that the law actually dictates that they not extend that privilege to you. All you have is, but I want to do it. And that's a retarded argument, and you should feel bad for making it.